Good morning. In this section, I will teach reflection and refraction of a uniform plane wave. When the electromagnetic wave traveling in one medium strikes upon a second medium, then the wave will be partially transmitted and partially reflected. It depends upon type of incidence. The two types of incidence are normal and oblique incidences. For example, this is boundary and wave is incident on boundary like this. A part of it is transmitted to second medium and a part of it is reflected into same medium. So when electromagnetic wave incident upon a boundary separating two different media, then a part of wave is transmitted into second medium and a part of wave is reflected into same medium. First incidence, normal incidence. When a uniform plane wave incidences normally to the boundary between two media, then it is known as normal incidence. For example, this is boundary separating two media. If wave incident normally like this on the boundary, it is called normal incidence. Second case, oblique incidence. When a uniform plane wave incidences obliquely to the boundary between two media, then it is known as oblique incidence. I will explain this is also. Consider the media separating two boundary and it is normal to the boundary. If wave incidence like this by making some angle with the boundary, this is called oblique incidence. So there are two types of incidence. One is normal incident, other one is oblique incidence. In normal incident also we have two types. First one, wave incident normally on a perfect conductor. Second one, wave incident normally on a perfect dielectric. In oblique incidents also we have two cases. Wave incident obliquely on a perfect conductor, wave incidence obliquely on a perfect dielectric. So totally 4 cases I will teach. First case, wave incident normally on a perfect conductor. What is perfect conductor? There is no attenuation and there is no loss. There is no loss of wave or loss of energy within a perfect conductor. When a uniform plane wave incident normally upon the surface of a perfect conductor, then it is entirely reflected as shown in figure. So this is the incident electric field. This is the boundary. Here one side medium is dielectric other side it is perfect conductor. So this is the boundary of perfect conductor. When an electromagnetic wave incident normally on the perfect conductor, then it is entirely reflected. Why means the electric field does not exist within perfect conductor. Hence, the total wave is reflected back without transmission. So, when uniform plane wave incident normally upon the surface of conductor, it is entirely reflected into the same medium. So, this is the reflected wave amplitude. In this case, there is no loss of the energy, hence incident wave amplitude EI is equal to reflected wave amplitude ER, but the directions are different. One is in forward direction, other one is in reverse direction, hence there is negative sign. So EI is equal to minus ER. This is the condition. Amplitudes are same, but direction is different. Since there can be no loss within a perfect conductor, none of the energy is absorbed. As a result, the amplitudes of electric and magnetic fields in the incident wave are same as in the reflected wave. That means the amplitude of incident wave is equal to amplitude of the reflected wave, and only difference is in the direction of power flow. In incident wave, power flow is like this. In reflected wave, power flow is opposite. Hence, we are getting minus sign. The electric field of incident wave is given by EI into e power minus j beta. EI is the amplitude of the incident wave. Z is the direction of wave propagation. Wave is propagating along Z axis. Beta is the phase shift constant. In perfect conductor, alpha is 0. Similarly, the electric field of reflected wave is given by ER into e power ER into e power j beta. This is reflected wave travels along negative z axis, hence e power j beta z. The resultant electric field is sum of the electric fields of incident and reflected waves. Et of z is equal to incident wave EI into e power minus j beta z plus ER into e power j beta z. Now substitute this ER is equal to minus EI. Why? This is the condition. Hence take this EI and this EI as common. So here EI is equal to minus ER, hence substitute ER is equal to minus EI, then take this EI common, then Et of z is equal to EI into e power minus j beta z minus e power j beta z. Here also same. Now take minus common from this, which is here minus, then these two are reversed, hence e power j beta z minus e power minus j beta z. Now multiply this with 2j to compensate, divide, save by 2j. Now this entire one represents, this term represents sin beta z, hence this equation becomes et of z is equal to minus 2j ei into sin beta z. This is the total electric field in phasor form. The corresponding time varying total electric field is given by et tilt of z comma t is equal to real of et of z into e power j omega t. Now substitute value of this et from this equation in this, then this equation becomes et tilt of z comma t is equal to real of minus 2j ei sin beta z into e power j omega t. If ei is chosen to be real, then this equation becomes, that may take real part of this equation. This can be written as cos omega t minus, cos omega t plus j sin omega t. So this j and the j before sign, j square, which is minus. So minus minus cancel, then this becomes et tilt of z comma t is equal to 2 ei into sin beta z into sin omega t. This is the total electric field in terms of z and t. This equation shows that the incident and reflected waves combine to produce a standing wave which does not progress. That means if it is incident wave, then reflected wave combines like this, that forms standing wave which does not progress. In order to maintain the reversal of direction of energy propagation, the magnetic field must be reflected without reversal of phase. That means the HI and HR in the same phase. That means incident magnitude HI is equal to reflected amplitude of the magnetic field HR, and there is no reversal of the phase. Why means the expression for power flow from the Poynting theorem, P is equal to E cross H. For example, if we take incident wave, this is PI, incident wave power flow, this is EI, this is HI, this is incident wave like this, that is power flow in this down direction. If it is reflected, direction is upward. So what is power flow? PR is equal to ER cross HR. This is the power flow of the reflected wave. But if we substitute this ER is equal to minus ER cross minus EI cross here HI. Then which is equal to this side PR minus this EA cross HI can be written as PI. That means incident power flow and reflected power flow are in opposite direction. For example, if we take this instead of HR is equal to HI, if we take HR is equal to minus HI, then this minus cancel, the power flow must be in same direction. That means there is no reversal of the power flow. Hence, we need to take incident magnetic field is equal to reflected magnetic field without any phase reversal. Hence, the magnetic field must be reflected without reversal of phase. Remember. So, EI is equal to minus ER and HI is equal to plus HR. Then only reversal of power possible. Otherwise, there is no reversal of the power flow. So, the total magnetic field HT of Z is equal to HI into e power minus J beta Z plus HR into e power J beta Z. Now substitute HI is equal to HR in this equation. Then this equation becomes HT of Z is equal to HI into e power minus J beta Z plus HI into e power J beta Z. Take HI common, then this is same as previous one. This is also same. Now we can multiply and divide this equation with the 2. Then HT of Z is equal to 2 HI into e power J beta Z plus e power minus J beta Z by 2. This is equal to cos beta Z, but this is in phasor form. The corresponding time varying total magnetic field is given by HT tilt of Z comma T is equal to real of HT of Z into e power J omega T. Now substitute the value of this is HT. Value in this equation, then this equation becomes this one. HT tilt of Z comma T is equal to real of 2 HI cos beta Z into e power J omega T. Now express this as cos omega T plus J sin omega T. If HI is chosen to be real, then this equation becomes, that may take real part. If HI is chosen to be real, then HT tilt of Z comma T is equal to 2 HI into cos beta Z into cos omega T. This equation shows that the magnetic field H has a standing wave distribution same as electric field. That means this is the incident wave then this is the reflected wave that forms standing waves. But equations 1 and 2 indicate that the electric and magnetic fields are differing 90 degrees in phase. In equation 1, in electric field you have sine terms, here you have cos terms, hence there is a 90 degrees phase difference between total electric field and total magnetic field. This is the standing wave pattern of the electric and magnetic fields. One is this is the incident wave, this is the reflected wave that combines and forms standing wave. Similarly, this is the incident wave, this is the reflected wave. This is the surface of the conductor, this is the surface of the conductor. This is the direction of propagation, z-axis. If electric field is along x-axis means magnetic field is along y-axis. At the surface of the conductor, electric field is 0, that means minimum, magnetic field is maximum. And from the surface of the conductor, if we take distance lambda by 4, then electric field is maximum. And if we multiply this with 3, then we are getting maximum here. That means electric field is 0 at the surface of the conductor and 0 at multiples of wavelength here and here. Maximum is at the odd multiples of quarter wavelength from the surface of the conductor. This is lambda by 4, this is 3 lambda by 4, and this is lambda by 2. Similarly, magnetic field also. Here, if T is 0, there is no wave. If T is T by A, this is the wave. If T is T by 4, this is the wave. Standing waves of electric and magnetic fields. The electric field is 0 at the surface of the conductor and also multiples of the half wavelength from the conductor. The electric field is maximum at odd multiples of quarter wavelength from the surface of the conductor. Similarly, magnetic field is maximum at the surface and multiples of wavelength, half wavelength from the surface of the conductor. Sorry, this is magnetic field. Magnetic field H is 0 at the odd multiples of quarter wavelength from the surface.